Good afternoon. My name's Duke Campbell. I'm the street superintendent here for the city of Muncie. I came over with Mayor Tyler when he was elected, and I've done that with pleasure. I know the type of person that Dennis is, and he wants to do what's best for the community overall. And I look forward to the challenge, and today you're going to take a ride with me. And I'm going to show you a few things that the city's involved with right now as far as infrastructure goes, and I hope you enjoy the trip. Thank you. I'm Duke Campbell. I'm the street superintendent, and right now I'm going down to look at a complaint off of Vine Street off of Washington, because the Washington Street Festival is coming up this weekend, and they were concerned about some construction going on, and I guess two driveways has places in it to where they've left holes in them, so I'm gonna go down here and try to catch the contractor and see that he's gonna fix those properly. We're headed down Washington, and then after I get done with that, I'll probably take you down Willard Street and show you some of the problems we face throughout the city, which is one of our biggest problems, in my opinion, is sidewalks. The trees that they planted 40 years ago are coming back to haunt us. They're pushing the sidewalks up, making them unpassable for people to walk. They're definitely a liability. Right here on Madison Street, the project was done, but we done a walkthrough, and the wheelchair ramp didn't meet the minimum requirements for angle, so the construction company's back in here redoing that right now. They have to tear out about 10 foot of the cement and wheelchair ramp that they put in about a month ago, and we done a walkthrough, and the state done some measuring, and we all done some measuring, and it does not meet ADA compliant. Really, other than that, there's a few tweaks to make on the Madison Street traffic signal program. One of them is moving the signal heads to where they're supposed to be, and I was assured that was going to happen. So I'm surprised they're already getting on that. They probably want to get it done so they can get their money. But it's been a kind of a pain in our rear since Mayor Tyler took office. But it's all coming together now, and it's going to look good. Now this is where they are tearing up Washington Street to put a gas line in. All the neighbors are concerned because their festival, like I said, is this weekend. And as soon as they get done, we're going to come down and patch any holes, small or big, and sweep the streets, make it nice and clean for everybody. Now, which would be the 200 block? I'm thinking that'd be down this way. They're going to bore under the sidewalk, so not a whole lot of digging is supposed to be required. I bet I need to go back the other way. She gave me 221 right here. Right here where he's digging, I'm going to have to get out and find out. Happens that I'm doing filming down on these things. I got a call from the owner of this property. Okay, I just had a conversation with the construction company who's doing the work for Vectron, and they've dug out a section of sidewalk here, and the property owner was concerned that they wouldn't be able to get into their driveway. Well, he's assured me that they're going to base that with some stone, gravel, whatever needed to be, so they will be able to get into their driveway. I guess there's a wedding. They need to use this parking space, so I'm satisfied with that. And I'll call the landlord or the property owner and let her know that. Here's one of the problems we face throughout the city. Leaves clogging the drains up. We were just down here. We're going to run the street sweeper, clean up Washington Street, which there's many trees. And you know, if property owners would just take it upon themselves every once in a while, go out and clean their grate off, it would be a tremendous help, because water is what damages your streets. I don't care what kind of street you got. If you got water, it's not going to last. So we're trying to do our part with the limited number of workers we got. The sanitary district's trying to do their part, but a little community involvement, neighborhood associations are very willing to get out and do some stuff, and I've noticed a change already. We went through a cleanup process. The mayor had the Parks Department and our department doing weed eating and cleaning throughout the city of a lot of places where homes were empty, like this one here on the corner. And then once we'd done that, I think the people took a little bit of pride in their properties. So I think it really helped a lot, you know, to show that we care. We got to show the people we care for them to care, and take a little bit of pride back in their community and their neighborhood. So we're going to go down to Willard Street and hopefully get some footage of the actual, what I would call our priority, besides paving roads and getting ADA compliant, would be sidewalks. And I will show you an example of what these trees that we were talking about earlier have done to our road, or our sidewalks. It's a big challenge, but we're up to it. Next year's budget will allocate more money to sidewalk repair, and also looking for any grant money we could get. And MITS Bus has a plan to do I think a total of 38 blocks. I'm not quite sure on that, but they're going to do a lot of sidewalks on their own. That's on their bus routes, and that's going to be a great help. Muncie Redevelopment Commission is committed to helping the city with getting some sidewalks done on Charles Street. They've been a great help to us. Just everybody working together, I think we can tackle this problem and get it done. We're not going to get everything done next year, or the next year after that, or the next year after that, but we show some improvement. Outside people coming that want to live here will notice some improvement, and maybe they'll want to call Muncie their home. Well, as you can see right here is just a small example of what I've been talking about, the sidewalks. This tree planted right in the middle of the sidewalk. Very nice sidewalk on both sides. But what this tree has caused is major headaches for us. It's not accessible to a wheelchair. In fact, it's not very safe for a bicycle or a pedestrian to walk down. As you can see, it's got the curb pushed out completely. That's what tree roots will do. The right trees need to be planted in these areas. They've done research. They've learned a lot. They've learned a lot in the 40 years since these were planted. Some tree roots go down, some go out. These and the maple trees, this is a locust tree. These and the maple trees are the worst trees you can put near sidewalks. What this entails is, of course, we have to cut the tree down, which costs us money. If this one here could probably be cut by our people, it's not very big. If they get very big, we have to pay upwards of $400 a tree to get them cut. Then we need to jackhammer the sidewalk out away from it down far enough to get the stump ground so we can reform it and pour it. And we're working on small sections throughout the city. Our next big project is Walnut Street south of 12th Street. There's, I think, 7 or 8 trees that need to come down there so the stumps can be ground, and we're doing those in-house. Now, next year I'll look at the monies. We'll try to use private contractors to do some of the jobs, and we'll also try to do a lot of it in-house. That's really the only way that we can never catch up and get these types of jobs done. This is just one tree on Willard. This is near Hackley. The whole block to the east and to the west, well, clear down to almost Madison, is just this same way. Across the street, it looks like they planted the proper tree, and I can't really tell you what kind of tree that is, but it has not pushed the sidewalk up at all. Now that tree was planted a lot in more recent years than this tree was, because it's smaller. So I'm sure with the forester, Kelly McClellan has a lot of knowledge on what trees to plant, and there's a book. People's done a lot of studies on this, trees near sidewalks. So I'm sure we're not the only community that's faced this problem, but now we have to address it. We have to show the federal government we're doing everything we can with the monies that we have to become ADA compliant, and that's what the mayor wants us to do. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're driving down East Memorial heading west. We just left the bypass, and this was a major concern of a lot of citizens, how bumpy and really how bad a shape this road was in. We've done our research. The city limit stops at White River up here. I've contacted the state. The state so far has not said that they're responsible for it. So I've been in contact with the county highway department, and Angie Moyer is in constant conversation with the state to see if they could do their part. Mayor Tyler actually put an offer on the table to pave it like we've paved. We're coming up on this part that is the cities, to pave it while we were paving this section, and they could reimburse us, but they didn't seem too interested in that, so we went ahead and paved our portion. I'm very pleased with this. We added there was enough room to add a right turn lane up here at Burlington, which is really nice. We took out the cement median, which is nothing but a headache, because it'll crumble in 2 to 3 years because of the salt we put on the roads. But the painting should start this week. The painter assured me last week, due to weather conditions, he was behind, and then it rained mostly all last week. So it's kind of up to Mother Nature when he gets started. He's got a job to finish up out of town, and he'll be back in town to get the striping done. Clear past this school zone, which is Sutton School, I asked him to paint it. In fact, I think he's going to paint all of 12th Street because it's on the schedule. So the next few weeks, I think people are really going to start noticing some nice improvements. Got a little late start on it because we wanted to do it right. We wanted to do it in conjunction with the sewer separation project, because we did not want to pave a road and then have the sanitary district have to come in and cut that road. That's not what we're about. We're about trying to do things right. And if it took a while, then that's just the way it had to be this year. But all the paving will be done, and it will be done before. Well, I look probably about 2 to 3 more weeks. Everything will be done. So, okay, we're getting ready to turn on South Macedonia off of 18th Street, and this is something I'm kind of proud of. Macedonia was built as a as a highway at one time, and there's concrete underneath the pavement. Anytime you pave over concrete, you're going to have some lifts and some shifts in the slabs. Well, Macedonia was getting to where it was just full of what you almost call speed bumps. And through cooperation of the county highway, they let us use their planer, which is something that I would like to purchase for the city to grind down humps. Now you're still going to see a few little humps. You can't get them all out, but it was so much worse than what it is. It's a good tool to have, and it's also going to help us do the sidewalk work too. I'm looking forward to trying to get a new machine, but this road was horrible to drive. We've done this. Now we'll come back in the cold weather and crack seal it. Okay, down here by Southside High School, there is a project, a federally funded project, which is an 80-20 reimbursement on this project. We're going to have sidewalks down both sides. We're going to bring it out here to 29th Street, or whatever you'd want to call it, Old 35. But from here, we believe we're going to create a crosswalk with the state's cooperation and get sidewalks on the south side to get people down to Walmart and to the bus stop. That project there should start next spring. Okay, I just turned south on Madison near the Southway Plaza. I turned off 29th Street just to give a narrative of what this Southside Gateway project is going to look like. You can't see it now, but maybe I can explain. There's going to be a median in the middle with plantings, and it's going to be cut down to 2 lanes with a 3rd lane for turning. And on both sides, it's going to be retention areas and sidewalks and a bicycle path. And when you get to the bridge here, the bicycle path is going to circle right down the bank along Buck Creek and go back to Walnut Street. And this stoplight here is where the actual roundabout is going to be placed. And thanks to Marjorie Ziegler and her foundation, the sign on the right, the Welcome to Muncie sign, is going to be used in the center of the roundabout. And we appreciate everything her foundation does also. Without foundations like that throughout the community, you know, we would definitely not have enough money to do the things that we want to enhance Muncie. But that's just a real quick rundown on the Gateway project, and it will. They're going to put a shovel in the ground next spring on this. Everything's a go except buying 2 pieces of right-of-way. We're going up Hoyt Avenue. We just left Cowan Road. Hoyt Avenue kind of bothers me because there's really no good sections to speak of sidewalks. Clear to town, it's a very busy road. We need to include that in the list of our projects for sidewalk work and get it ADA compliant. The sidewalks you do have are very narrow and you have obstructions in the way. As you get closer to the fire station down there, they're really terrible. In fact, they're almost non-existent. But since we were on Hoyt, I thought I'd mention it. We need to improve Hoyt Avenue because it takes a lot of people to town. We're in Morningside Edition out here. That is northeast of the corner of McGalliard and Broadway. A lot of homes back in here. The roads have needed some attention. The drainage has needed some attention. The sanitary department's been down toward the end of this road and done some drainage work. Got that done, and then we were able to pave it, and it turned out to be a nice road. And I'm going to turn right here because this road, this little section of road here, we're going to have to do something about it. As you can see, there's a lot of, almost looks like an alley, but it's really a little road. It's pretty rough. I haven't been on it since the rains, and every time it rains, it looks like it gets worse. I wouldn't want to drive down it. You can see probably with the camera how bumpy it is. This circles back around, and it looks like a good place for people to dump too. I don't know if they have that problem in here, but it's as you can see with the trees and everything on both sides. It's really not a very clean area. We'll make that a project. That shouldn't cost anything to get paved. It should be just a drop in the bucket. We ought to look into grading that thing out and putting some pavement on it, bringing it back around here to this road here. And I'm not sure exactly where this came out at, but connecting it to this road. Take care of the drainage and get a decent path through there, and maybe clean up some of the trees and the overgrowth that we have here. We scheduled two main roads this year in the neighborhood. As a matter of fact, if I could mention something about neighborhoods, we've tried to spread our monies out throughout the city. We divided it northeast, southeast, northwest, and southwest, and we need to be continuing on that program where people see they're getting something from their wheel tax, and that's our plan. I think in next year and the year after that, you'll see that it works. If we only get 2 roads in your neighborhood, we'll be back next year to do another one, and maybe 2, depending on how the money is. Eventually, people will, like I said earlier, they'll be proud to call it their home again, and they'll be glad. This Bel Air here, this is the second road we've paved in Morningside. We've used a local contractor, which they've been around for years, and they know all the ins and outs. They're very well to work with, and they very seldom call me with a problem. What a beautiful road this turned out to be. And to the right down here, Harvard had a hole in it for the previous, the guys that work for me tell me this hole right here we're getting ready to pass is no longer here, you can see, but that hole was there for a good 2 years with a barricade on it. With the sanitary district coming in and putting a pipe under there, we were able to pave it, and so we took care of 2 problems at once. I'm kind of proud of that. Well, we're still in Morningside, and it looks like the Parks Department's down here mowing in their park down here, which is a great thing. We want to drain the back side of this park, but we're having to deal with IDM and the drainage board. We're talking to the surveyor a little bit, but we can drain the back side of this, and where it sometimes stands in water back toward the creek, we want to just go ahead and put a pipe in and drain it right toward Muncie Creek. They're out here getting it. I think with knowing Harvey as well as I do, he's got some plans for getting them backboards replaced and whatever else needs replaced. But he's had a lot of projects he's had to deal with lately, and he's talked to me about a few of them. And there are, as money comes along, there's going to be improvements to all of our parks. This is a pretty nice area back here. Okay. We just got a lot of compliments on this road because it is a cut-through road, and there's a lot of homes out here in this addition. And we'll keep plugging away year after year. This is one of the longer stretches of roads that we've contracted out to pave. This is in the Haldeman Village area. It's Sheffield. And one thing I wanted to mention about Sheffield is these people down here, I guess they fought for a long time to get a speed bump in. And the minute the paving crews showed up, the first phone call I got was, "Are you going to put our speed bump back in?" And so I I really hesitated to answer that question. Well, in order for them, and they told me how much trouble it was for them, we just passed over the speed bump, so they got their speed bump put back in. So that made them happy. Yeah, we're on Wheeling now. We just left McGalliard. And Wheeling is a concern. It is the main artery out of town. It's going to cost a whole lot of money to resurface it. What I'm hoping is we get it crack sealed this year and reevaluate its condition next year. But in the not too distant future, this is going to have to be done. It just has a tremendous amount of traffic on it, and we may have to save some money or look into some grant monies if there are any left to try to get it all done. If not, we probably have to do it in sections, and that's not all bad. If people know you're going to do this section this year and this section the next year, they can accept that. But being how wide it is and how highly traveled it is, and the milling that's going to need to be done on it, it's going to be an expensive project. But this is definitely a road we'll crack seal this year, and we're developing a list. We already got one started of roads that we want to crack seal. And by the way, I do want to say that we're going to crack seal in-house this year. We have the machine to do it. It just wasn't utilized, and we're going to do it ourselves. That will save the department some money. I'm looking at all kinds of ways to save enough money to get some sidewalk work done, and our crack sealer machine will do just as good as a job as any other that's out there. Well, I hope you did enjoy a little bit. We couldn't show you everything in the time that we had to do, but things are happening in Muncie. And I hope that people see their neighborhoods getting improved. They'll take a little pride in where they live and take a little pride in their neighborhoods. But I did want to say something. It's not me, it's the crews that are doing the work out there. We have one heck of a good crew at the street department. A total of 20 people. That includes 3 mechanics and the girls up front. So we have a limited staff, and I tell you, I couldn't ask for a better department of workers than what we got right now. And I think my hat's off to them. You know, they come to work every day. They get out of there, they get to their assigned jobs, and I have not one bit of problem with any of them. It's just a great department to work for, and they want to do things. They just need the tools to do it, and hopefully we can provide them with those tools. And feel free to call me or the street department anytime with any complaints. I try to look at any complaints, me or Donnie personally, and we try to resolve them as soon as possible. Until next time, enjoy your day.